Will Smith is an awful YouTuber, and let me explain why.
Yeah.
You know, people were giving basically America's dad a lot of shit for coming on the platform and trying to basically be in with everyone else, and I didn't really know why. And you know, I say Will Smith is a dad because of how much boomer he radiates, and that's coming from me, someone who is routinely and almost to a annoying degree called a boomer. Guys, the joke is old. Stop it. It's like Which Left now, nobody likes it. You know, where I'm relatable and come off as a real person, I hope, Will Smith really does feel past his prime as an actor, and you know what? He might be rich, but I will say, maybe as a person. Personally, he's not really acting in movies, you know, to get an award or anything. He's got enough of Bel-Air's royalties coming in. He doesn't need to. You know, I really don't think I'm gatekeeping here, and I do think that Will Smith is like a notch better than Jimmy Fallon, Kimmel, and whoever else has a late night show these days. I think, is it Lily Singh or Liza Koshy? You could put those two in a lineup and I would not be able to tell you which one's which. Anyway, all those unrelatable hacks keep showing up on trending and it bothers me. Will Smith is one of those with, recently he showed up on trending for going to Coachella with his family. And I think before we even get into Will Smith, let's talk about what makes YouTubers, you know, YouTubers and different from celebrities. I think part of what draws a lot of people to certain creators and people on the platform, especially that make vlogs and personal things about their life, are drawn because of that intimate connection they feel because, hey, you're just a person in your room or going through your day, and you are bringing along an audience with your camera. It's very intimate and it's one-on-one, or that's how it feels. And for example, I'll even use celebrity Jack Black to really prove my point.
At the Aulani Resort, we're about to hit the water slide and hit it hard.
See, with the vlog like that, you can basically feel a more intimate connection with Jack Black. His content and the videos that are put out on his channel really make you feel one with Mr. Black. For the most part, it really feels like Jack Black and his son doing things on their own terms, you know, just maybe with an iPhone or just, you know, going through a normal day, doing normal son and father things. I mean, it's definitely not that. There's definitely a lot more happening behind the scenes and there's some real serious money, especially when there's a Jumanji video, but it does feel significantly different from the presentation and tonal consistency of Will Smith content. The only difference between Will Smith and Jack Black is that I think the people working with Jack Black now behind the scenes are letting them be a little bit more themselves. Anyway, as a result of that, people have accepted Jack Black as Jablinski Games in the YouTube community. Nobody really has a problem with them being on here, and his son is like popping off on Instagram. It is something else. Also, this might just be my personal bias here, but Jack Black is just amazingly personable, especially in these vlogs. Yeah, of course, in these videos, Jack Black is definitely, most certainly a dad, and I cannot relate to him being, you know, a millionaire and acting in Nacho Libre. But he is comfortable, and he's comfortable with being himself and a real person, and you can see that in the content. Hell, you can see it in how the man dresses. He dresses like Guy Fieri cosplay. Will Smith, on the other hand, is none of that. I don't know how else to put this, but it just kind of feels like Will Smith is acting like real people would act in real life. Like it's not actually a person, it's him acting like he is a person who acts. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out here. Also, it's not really like anything that Will Smith puts out is a vlog. I mean, it is a vlog, but it's not him vlogging, holding a camera. It is on occasion, but most of the time, hell, even listed in the credits, is that there are just camera operators in his house filming him for him. So, it's more like a reality TV show. Excuse me, did I say house? I meant to say the Will Smith estate, because, oh my god, his house. Will Smith vlogs really feel like they're trying to work in certain days to film family outings in a natural setting, but trying to work it into his busy schedule of acting and being, you know, Will Smith.
We're on the island of Volcano, right? Volcano.
None of this feels like a vlog. This feels like Will Smith had a free weekend away from filming Aladdin and whatever that other one is where they make Will Smith look young. And then they just film his family go do some ridiculously expensive outing. Oh, thank God that the trailer for that movie that I forgot the name of is on his YouTube channel. The movie's called Gemini Man. And, I mean, it sure is a movie that a producer came up with in one sentence. But I'm spending a lot of time really talking about the personal, like, identity of who Will Smith is, and I think it's really important that we take a gander at what the content actually is and why I kind of have an issue with it.
It's just a beautiful thing to be here, man. You know what I mean? And
Move, man.
Oh, shit.
I'm taking my interview, man.
We was talking.
And don't be talking.
That's my line.
Okay, so you saw that and how that was presented. Now, look at how Jack Black presents his content.
Here's my wife with Barack Obama. They're just friends.
You see, my really glaring issue with this, especially as someone who's like familiar with cinematography, is really that with Will Smith, there is cinematography. The issue is that when I watch Will Smith's videos, it feels like a director of photography set everything up and then someone said, action, Will, you're a family man, go. Meanwhile, with Jack Black, it's really just a video of a really unflattering angle of Jack Black. You know, sometimes he's just like out with his son. Other times you're looking like below angle, chin up at Jack Black. And you're like, I see that dad beard. And it's because of that I feel that Will Smith and his content has no soul. Because it feels so artificial. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure if there's a soul in Will Smith. Will Smith's videos are, at their worst, just ads.
Open.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh,
Look, looks like you.
For the rest of your lives.
And then, on the other end, at their best, is that you get this reality TV peek into Will Smith's life. Now, with that clip of Will I showed, right, let's put it in some more context, because I can't show the whole video, but I can elaborate on what it's going for there.
So how did that idea come to you to do that?
well, you know, I grew up watching the show. You know, I mean, it's something that since I was 5, I remember watching. You know, I remember seeing what you did, you know, on screen.
So one, I do really appreciate indie cinema and that kind of work, you know. I go to school for film, like that's what I do. YouTube is really, it is a great equalizer in that regard, and I truly respect the craft. Anyway, Morgan Cooper, this guy, is the writer-director of a fan-made trailer for Bel-Air, which is a dramatic, realistic reimagining of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air TV show. Now, this isn't something particularly new to the internet. There are tons of people who do remakes and rehashes of, you know, child-friendly or family-friendly properties in a more serious, gritty, realistic tone. Adi Shankar is a producer, actually, and actually, you might have seen him. He has a very distinct profile to him, but he's been doing something online that I'm actually pretty sure some of you might have seen one of his works. You see, Adi Shankar does a thing called the Bootleg Universe, most famous for its rendition of the Power Rangers and its really gritty take on the franchise. They also did one for Mr. Rogers, which does not have enough love, and I do recommend you go watch it, because it is just fun, campy, just it's a good time. Anyway, who knows, maybe if enough people see this video and then enough people comment on that video, the Hollywood gods will come and, you know, pluck me out of lower middle class. Morgan also does a lot of cinematography work. He has a whole IMDb of his listings and what he's worked on in the past, but it's not like Morgan is some nobody writer-director. It's not like he came out of thin air and just made this and it's like amazing. Like, for example, Morgan did some work for ESPN recently, so he's in the industry. It's not like he's Will Smith levels, but he's not some nobody. I just want to clarify that, and the video kind of makes it out to be like that, which is kind of like both a disservice to the people that work hard, but like Morgan's not some nobody. He worked real hard to get where he is to be in a room with Will Smith. Come on. The whole video just ends up being Will Smith going, wow, you can make serious versions of comedic things? Yeah, Will, no shit. I'm definitely being mean and kind of really hard on Will, but it's very hard for me to take a just very light approach to this because I'm constantly inundated with Aladdin ads. The Aladdin stuff bothers me the most because it's not like the stuff has been like behind the scenes footage, you know, just the actors like doing things. Like it's always an ad. Like it stands out like a sore thumb, just as bad as the Geronimo Man trailer did. The Geronimo Man is a movie with Steven Seagal. It is not the same movie. Excuse me, it wasn't the Glimmer. These G words are just real confusing. The Glimmer Man is the Steven Seagal movie. Geronimo Man, I think, is a song. But Gemini Man is the movie with Will Smith and Will Smith acting against Will Smith. But the Aladdin stuff really doesn't have any reason to be here, and it doesn't fit the rest of the channel at all. I mean, clearly nobody wants to see this looking at the views on it compared to, like, the vlogs of his family.
Thanks, man. Oh
my gosh, that is amazing.
Well,
That video that you just looked at did really bad on the channel, and it's just an ad for Aladdin toys of an inferior version of Aladdin. And I know the movie's not out yet, but it is. But this is just me complaining about all the like extra extravagant Hollywood crap he's putting out. What about like the vlogs on Will Smith's channel? What about those? Well, when you actually get to know Will, and I'm really conflicted on whether or not this is knowing Will or not knowing Will, but there are some things I can pick up from his vlogs that kind of let me into who he is. And I mean, yeah, there's camera operators and producers in the room off camera, but what is Will really like?
It's funny, I start off really excited, and then when I realize I got my kids doing it, like right before we do it, this bizarre, oh my God, always kicks in, like the worst case of African-American parenting in the last 16 months.
Okay, so with that clip, we can see he's definitely a loving father. He definitely cares a lot about his family. And you know, I think I really do like that about Will Smith. I think that's a real genuine part of his personality as a, you know, dad, actor, person. You know, that is a defining core feature of who he is as a human being. And I appreciate that. It's not something I can relate to really well. That's not really the kind of relationship I've ever had with my father. Excuse me, I have daddy issues. But hey, you know, it's really interesting and sweet to see these things. I really do appreciate being allowed to see this. You can see his son isn't really all about that kind of like being in these vlogs, and you can tell he's kind of more close with his daughter. You know, it's really sweet, and it comes off as more realistic, and I'm more inclined to buy it as a reality. And I understand, yes, they are a family and it's real, but how it's portrayed on camera makes it feel like it's not. So it's nice to feel like there's a part that is. This niceness that Will has with his family feels like a genuine niceness compared to the other niceness he has, which is like what I call the California niceness. You know, it's the kind of niceness that people have in California where they're nice to you and then they try to sell you on their next great big blockbuster script. Please buy my script, executive producer. I don't know, maybe that's just me being from the East Coast, but people on the West Coast all seem to be about that. Like, oh my God. The next thing I noticed about Will is a very telling thing. That, oh my God, this man is so immeasurably wealthy that I could never conceive to imagine that kind of money in my life. Dude, I am so poor, my door doesn't close correctly, and one time my toilet backed up, and my sink backed up, and it was shit everywhere. It was awful. Will Smith's toilet probably wipes his own ass for him. What am I kidding? Will Smith probably yells, "Bellboy," and then some, like, little underpaid immigrant from south of the border comes out from under the cabinet and wipes his ass for him. And you know, I'm really reaching and I'm trying to find nice things to say, you know, because Will does seem like a nice guy. But like, outside of nice and family oriented, I really can't discern what kind of personality traits make up Will Smith. Like, if I just say, Will Smith seems nice, that is the most milquetoast response I could give to who he is as a person, and I really do think that's giving him a disservice. You know, I'm really trying here, but I do feel like I'm reaching to find positive things to give him. His channel feels so corporate and sterile, as if YouTube paid him to upload content that we can show to advertisers as this is what makes YouTube great. Like, he really should be lambasted for his content more outside of the whole Marcus Brownlee thing on the YouTube Rewind. Like, none of his content is particularly offensive like a Logan Paul or Jake Paul, but then, on the other hand, none of it is particularly standout amazing either. And I think, you know, that kinda, I have no opinion is the worst opinion I could really give on this. I'd rather be offended than just go, it's there. It's just there, sitting on the trending tab, doing nothing, evoking no emotions, and telling me to buy Genie action figures. But you know what you should buy instead of Genie action figures? My merch, because it actually helps pay the bills and will move me one step closer to not having to bust my ass in college and ultimately be able to do this full time. If you'd like to help me on that quest and see me complain about other things, you can do so over on social media at FPS Diesel, over everywhere, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for me to talk about things on the YouTube more. I wasn't really funny in this video because I'm in finals and I am depressed.